Well, water's boiled, so jet boil to coffee mug. Spot on. Right. That's all I've had, just a few cars during the night. Still out here overlooking Morecambe Bay. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day today. Good morning, cows. It's 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm having a drive down to Sunderland Point in Lancashire. So there was another gun site down here and a lot of army camps. It's a tidal road, so all the mud at the sides is really wet. There's a lot of wow, danger. Do not proceed when these posts are in the water. Blimey, didn't expect that. Okay, so looks like a beautiful place. Absolutely beautiful. The sunlight is on it. I've got that lovely early morning sunlight. Okay, so the boats are all stranded now while the tide is out. It's a beautiful sky. What's that down there? There's a boat sunken into the mud there. Lovely little fishing villages. Boats either side here. Stone walls. Stone sea defence barriers as well. We've got to go which way? Private road, so we can't go down there. Right, let's see. So the high water level, wow. Wow, high water level, crackers. Well, this is quite handy. So there's an information board, right, which also has the gents, and that's really good because it's first thing in the morning. Well, I just had my morning constitutional. This public toilet has been twinned by generous donations from visitors to Sunderland Point, with a latrine in Mdani village, Malawi. That tickled me. How cool is that? So there's the view across the River Lune and the mud flats at Sunderland Point. Quite desolate. I could have stayed here last night, I guess. It's alright until high water. Then I might have been in trouble, especially as it's on springs. Oh, here we go. Good morning. Can I come through? There's a cattle grid the other side of you. It's as far as you're allowed. So, why were you late for work? Cows in the road. It's going to give way or not? Nothing to eat there. Eat the grass, don't eat the shit. Come on. Thank you kindly. Good morning. Well, that was not fine. Come on, out of the way, let me out. Thank you very much. Over the grid, and we're off Sunderland Point. I'm just driving towards Middleton. This is only a small place. It's a big building over there, big industrial building, which I would guess is of military origin. I'm on the west side of the island now. Don't think I'm going to find any evidence whatsoever here. but it's been nice to come and find somewhere off the beaten track that I'd have no reason to visit otherwise. I'm parked up at the top of Mount St James, BB1 2DR, which would have been a familiar place to my grandfather, because this is Stanhill Road. Nice wide open bit of space here. Unfortunately, it's not quite the perfect position. You're standing on the floor of the latrines of a former prisoner of war camp. The site began as an anti-aircraft gun battery before expanding to become a purpose-built prisoner of war camp made of wooden huts. This is a model of the gun site that was made. Okay, and I'm right here. That's the M65 you can hear to the side of me. Now, if we look on this aerial photograph, these are the 4 gun pits. There they are. And there's the same circle, the M65. So looking at these pictures, I'm standing here right now. Now that is here right now, which means these gun pits here, the gun pits he would have been on, are there, literally where the M65 runs. This is it. There's nothing left of D site Accrington, later called Blackburn H6 and Lancaster H6. There was a battery of 4 3.7-inch anti-aircraft guns here, which 254 battery were manning to protect the skies around Blackburn. This is a definite location for my grandfather's war in June, July 1942. This is Oswaldtwistle Mills. There is a historical display here detailing the gun site and the prisoner of war camp. I'm going to go in and have a look and hopefully find some more information. Well, I knew I'd found it. So here is a model of the anti-aircraft battery. Here's one of the gun batteries. Okay, the 4 gun batteries are of identical layout, except that the personnel bunkers for gun batteries A and B are located on the west side of the entrance, while those for C and D are located on the east. So it's a mirror image arrangement directly related to the position of the main control bunker, which controlled the firing. So here's a plan drawn by Coral Ahmed of the University of Manchester Archaeological Unit, showing the layout. This shows the gun positions. Here's a plan of the main control bunker. So you've got the main command room, the ante-chamber, the guard room, so on, dog-legged entrance. The green bits are obviously the embanked earth around the sides. This shows you one of the gun positions itself. So you've got your ammunition store on either side of the gun. You've got the personnel bunker. There's a large dog-legged left-hand bit. Okay. Shows also the pillbox structure and so on. Small photographs of it. Okay, showing the gun platform with the holdfasts, the ammunition shelves. Here we go. This is the overall layout and positioning of the gun site. Accrington D, also known as Blackburn H6. Isn't that fantastic to find this? Really pleased, really pleased. Oh, this is a lovely picture. There you go. There's a painting by somebody showing the pillbox and the guns, and behind it a prisoner of war camp. That's absolutely lovely. Wish I had that to put on my wall. Today has been a marvellous success. So I started at one of the gun sites, rough location-ish, then looked for another one of the gun sites, even rougher location-ish, And then went to one where my grandfather definitely was, which was D-Site Accrington, as I've repeatedly said. I've been into Oswaldtwistle Mills, where I've seen a lovely display detailing the layout and fabrication of the camp itself. So I'm just looking through my records. So 9th of May 1942 is when my grandfather's unit would have arrived at Oswaldtwistle, manning that site. Now I'm just looking around. So on the 24th, they opened fire. 01:24 in the morning, enemy aircraft engaged by all Barrow sites. 120 rounds fired. 02:45, D-Site Accrington, where I've just been. 02:45, D-Site Accrington in action against enemy aircraft. 4 rounds fired. 27th of July saw the regiment transferred to 70th Anti-Aircraft Brigade and static 3.7s in place at Accrington D, subsequently renamed Blackburn H6. Their mobile 3.7s dispatched to Donington on the 15th of August. Enough of these wartime gun site shenanigans, Mr. Crane. I've got the electric lunchbox out. Another order from Alison to buy, or Bossy Boots. Taking off the ventilation cap, pressing the button to switch it on. But why, Mr. Crane? Why have you got it out? Well, I bought myself in Oswaldtwistle Mills a beautiful steak and ale pie. Look, it's a happy pie as well. Where I broke the crust, it's very happy, it's smiling at me. So we're going to put that on. That's going to warm up and hopefully be ready to eat by the time I get to my next destination. So I've just switched off. This has been plugged into the lighter socket and heating through all the way from Lancashire, about 120 miles or so. I'm going to eat it in a minute. Let's have a sniff. I can feel the heat rise and I can smell it as well. I think it's probably warmed through. So let's take it through the back and see. Right, let's get this pie out. Hopefully it's going to be nice and warm. Oh, it feels nice and warm. Is it steaming though? I guess so. Oh yeah, feels good, feels good. So, break into it. It's my nice Lancashire steak and ale pie. Let's have a taste. Heated right through. It tastes good. Lovely pastry. Well, the next stop on my grand tour is Elvington and the Yorkshire Air Museum, specifically to visit the 609 Squadron Memorial Room. It's a long time since I've been here. So there's quite a lot of outdoor aircraft exhibits scrolling around. I'm now going to walk into the T2 hangar. This is potentially the star exhibit here at Elvington, arguably. It's Handley Page Halifax bomber, Friday the 13th, and it was rebuilt and restored many years ago. It's always been a bit controversial because it made use of Handley Page Hastings wings, but you know, quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, it's a Halifax, and as far as the previous Halifax cruisers are concerned, it's a Halifax. This is a lovely little thing, tiny little biplane. I'd love to have one like that. That'd be cool. Fly that around. Compared to that SE5A, you can see how tiny it actually is. Now there's something I've always liked. Douglas DC-3 Dakota. Gorgeous things. Love to fly in one. Look at that. Saw a couple of those rotting away on an airfield at Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. And we have a Blackburn Buccaneer, which flew and fought in the Gulf War, 1991. This particular one, Flying Mermaid, flew 14 missions and destroyed a taxiing Iraqi transport aircraft with a laser guided bomb. Not bad for an old bird. This particular Handley Page Victor was one of the aircraft that helped refuel the Vulcan bomber that bombed Port Stanley during the Falklands War in 1982. That was quite a victory for us, flying all the way down to the Falklands, dropped some bombs, put the airport out of action. I do like a nice control tower. On the other side of the control tower now, there's a memorial bench here. This one is in memory of Group Captain Stephen Beaumont, one of the few. He flew 609 Squadron in 1940. Now that's what I call a picnic bench. That's brilliant. There's two of the 4.303 Browning machine guns. And the entire turret. Lovely display. It was cold, lonely, and it was frightening. And you'd be in there for hours, peering out, looking for fighters coming up on your tail. Here in the Memorial Chapel, right at the very front, is a kneeling cushion with a badge of 609 West Riding Squadron. And into the Memorial Garden. Nice selection of second-hand books. Reaching in. Story of 609 Squadron, Under the White Rose, Frank Ziegler. This is what led to me being here, reading this, becoming friends with the guys. Pinky, who I drank my first gin and tonic with. Finished my visit with the 609 West Riding Squadron Memorial Room. Outside is a replica Spitfire, painted up to commemorate George Darley, the CO of the squadron during 1940. This is just a tree, but it's a very special tree. Commemorates 3 airmen, 3 auxiliaries who were killed on the 14th of August 1940 at Middle Wallop. Corporal R.W. Smith, leading aircraftsman H. Thorley, leading aircraftsman K. Wilson. During a bombing raid, they were trying to close the hangar doors, which were hit and fell down and killed them. So now to enter the 609 West Riding Squadron Memorial Room. Walking into the 609 Squadron Memorial Room, on the ground in front of you is the original scramble bell from RAF Tangmere. Round to the rear at the sides are various paintings of the squadron, and then the display boards. These are copies of the Ord paintings or drawings. Captain Cuthbert Ord visiting the squadron on more than one occasion. These two here are of particular interest to me. On the left is Joe Atkinson, absolutely charming man, lovely fella, quintessential English gentleman. And this is Johnny Wells from Sheringham. Looking down at the photographs, we see the funeral cortege at Whittlesford for Francois de Spirley, who was killed in an accident on takeoff at Cheval Lallemont. Cheval is there. Moving across, Ken Adam, who won an Oscar for The Madness of King George designed the war room of Dr. Strangelove, worked on the first 7 Bond films. Well-renowned pilot. This, a film still taken from Between Friends, shows Alan Babe Haddon, one of the 2 pilots I commemorated with memorial at Martham. The memorial boards with the Roll of Honour of those pilots killed at 609 Squadron, those who became prisoner of war, those who commanded, and those who were killed or missing after the leaving 609, are flanked by the flags of the Royal Air Force and the Belgian Air Force. I had the pleasure of knowing this gentleman here, Cheval Valmont, speaking with Squadron Leader Roland Beaumont, very renowned test pilot, whose engine panel is here, taken from R7752 PRG, a very famous 609 Squadron Typhoon. This recorded his kills, as well as a squadron badge with the White Rose of Yorkshire with hunting horns and the motto Tally Ho, along with his 5 kills in aerial combat, 6, 12, 18, 24, 25 locomotives destroyed. He used to go hunting them at night, and a half share in an S-boat. Johnny Wiseman on the left, with Babe Haddon on the right. These 2 pilots were killed on 14th February 1943, shot down by Oberstleutnant Egon Meyer of 3JG2. Johnny was a Norfolk boy from Martham, and in 2003, 14th of July 2003, I erected a memorial in the memory of these 2 pilots. See these trains and crosses for the aerial kills? That's that panel there, in situ. Moving on. Bottom left here, have a rocket attack by Jan Matisse, with whom I once got very drunk. Cockpit photo of the lovely Tom Annear from New Zealand, who I used to speak with. And here in Paris, wandering around, hand in his pockets, in occupied Paris amongst the Germans, is my friend Flight Lieutenant Jimmy Stewart. Lovely man, who went on the run but ended up betrayed and imprisoned in Buchenwald concentration camp. And that is the 609 West Riding Squadron Memorial Room, the reason I'm here. That's it from the Yorkshire Air Museum at Elvington. So it's goodbye to the 609 Squadron Memorial Spitfire and 609 Squadron Memorial Room. And I have another copy, number 3, of Under the White Rose, the story of 609 West Riding Squadron. Somehow I've inadvertently found myself in the neighbourhood of the Battle of Stamford Bridge, where King Harold gave his brother a jolly good kicking and ended the reign of the Vikings in England. This is 25th September 1066, before all the Frenchies came over and gave him a good old kicking down at Hastings. This is lovely, beautiful old mill building. Look at that. What a cracker. What a peach. How gorgeous, with a mill pool, and weeping willows and so on. But that's not why I've stopped here specifically. I've stopped here specifically because just over there is a co-op and I need some bread rolls for my burgers. Certainly is a pretty place to stop. Yorkshire's rather lovely, you know. Well, the co-op was closed, so I couldn't get myself any bread rolls for my burgers. So instead, I'm going to treat you to this. We're going to go over the bridge at Stamford Bridge. This is Stamford Bridge Bridge. Yeah. There you go. Stamford Bridge Bridge. Well, I'm parked up on the outskirts of Malton in Yorkshire, and that's where I'm going to be sleeping tonight. Looks lovely. There's an old abbey there.